Now we're unpacking two practical mutual fund tools that can make or break your retirement income plan. I'm talking about IDCW, that stands for Income Distribution Cum Capital and Capital Withdrawal, and SWPs, that stands for Systematic Withdrawal Plans. We'll answer what exactly are they, which one suits someone just a few years from retirement, should youngsters touch them at all, when should you start planning, and a lot more. So to answer these questions, we have Kshitiz Mahajan, Managing Partner and CEO at Complete Circle Wealth Solutions. Thank you so much, Mr. Mahajan, for joining us in this conversation. Let's begin with answering a very fundamental question. What is the key difference between IDCW and SWP in terms of how they generate regular income for investors?
Well, thank you for having me on the show. I think a very basic question, and one should actually understand from the point of view that IDCW is a way through which many mutual fund schemes, they have a dividend option in the scheme, and they keep on paying a regular dividend. So it's not guaranteed that they'll pay the regular dividend, but yes, they have a track where they have been paying a regular dividend. Sometimes it happens once a year, sometimes frequency is once a month. Depending on different schemes, they keep on paying dividends. And basically, the regulation has changed 3-4 years back, where the dividend has become a part of your income only now. So it's not tax free like what used to be a long-term capital gain earlier. Now this has been taxed as per the tax slab in which you are. Let's say if you are in 10% tax slab, then what are the proceeds you're getting will be taxed at 10% tax, the depreciation as a dividend. What are the proceeds you're getting at 20% tax slab is taxed as 20%. Wherein SWP is a systematic withdrawal plan, where you set up a plan that, okay, let's say I have 1 crore of investment, and on a monthly basis, I want 50,000 rupees on a specific date. Depending on what all schemes you have, let's say you have 5 schemes, 10,000 rupees will move from your investments to your bank account on that date. And that will attract a long-term capital gain if it's an equity fund on the appreciated value. Because when you take out the money, your principal money will also move out, your appreciated money will also move out. The principal will be tax-free because that's your principal money. The appreciated money will be taxed at the given tax slab. There's a comfort of 1.25 lakh of capital gain on a yearly basis on the capital gain part also, which is not going to be taxed in both the cases. But yes, otherwise this will be part of your tax bracket. So I think one is the approach towards both the facilities in a mutual fund, and that facilities are here. There's a guaranteed flow of investment on a monthly basis, which you have defined. In IDCW, yes, there are few schemes which have been consistent over a period of time, but there's no guarantee that this much money will keep on coming on a monthly basis, because the money is which you are getting as a dividend distribution is coming from a profit pool, and for that profit has to be there in a scheme. And we have seen last 1.5 years, hardly any market movement is there.
Okay. So, Mr. Mahajan, the question that comes to the mind is then, why was IDCW introduced in the first place if it is clearly better than SWP in terms of at least regular income, and why would people go and invest in IDCW? And should young investors in their 20s or 30s consider starting an IDCW or SWP plan at all?
So I think for young investors, they don't require IDCW or SWP. It's basically an income which you want to get once you have a big corpus through which you want to do the withdrawals. And this is the time to accumulate wealth, not to spend, I think. But yes, when you say why it's been discovered, because it's been going on for almost now 20-25 years in mutual fund industry. Now, interestingly, somebody who's not at a salary which is more than 12 lakh, and they're getting some dividend income, it's totally tax free. But in SWP, come what may, the appreciated amount will attract a tax of 12.5% as a long-term capital gain. You have to pay that type of tax. So I think it is beneficial for people who needs some cash flows from their investment, which is not guaranteed that they want a defined cash flow. But if they want some proceeds from their investments, and they are not in the highest, or they're not in a tax slab which is more than 12 lakh, so the withdrawals will become tax-free, because till 12 lakh there is no income tax. So, but for young people, I will not suggest both the things, because this is a time when you should accumulate your investment, accumulate number of units of mutual fund rather than just taking the proceeds. Allow the compounding to happen, and once you have achieved some financial independence, you want to retire or want to do something of your own, maybe then you can start SWP, or you can start IDCW depending on if you don't have any other income, because this will become totally tax-free till 12 lakh.
Okay, so Mr. Mahajan, then what should be the ideal age to start or begin planning for your retirement via IDCW or SWP? And say if the average retirement age is 60, then when should you start investing in SWP? Because it takes some time, of course, to build that corpus in SWP so that you can depend on it in your retirement, right?
100%. And I think the ideal way is that you should, first of all, for IDCW, you should look at the funds which are consistently giving dividends. Because let's say your expenses after your retirement are on a monthly basis, and you're not getting the right funds on a monthly basis, then it will become difficult for you to manage your expenses part, because you want to enjoy this money for your retirement part. So I think look at the fund which have been consistently giving you dividends. I think that's the right way to look at it. And I think the retirement age is the right age, because till that you should put your money in a growth option only. Or if you are not having a taxation a window where you are paying taxes, then you can actually look at a dividend reinvestment option. And this is a very interesting part, wherein the dividend is coming, but it is getting reinvested. At least you're not withdrawing the money and you're stopping the compounding part.
So, Mr. Mahajan, a follow-up question would be, when exactly is the ideal time to switch from regular mutual fund investment plans to something like an SWP?
So I think SWP is a facility. You don't have to switch. You have to just adopt. Let's say you have to sign for a systematic withdrawal plan. Whenever your cash flows, which are coming from your business, or let's say from your salary, you are getting retired and you're not getting that, and now you want some cash flows on your side. Let's say still the cash flows are coming, but you actually want to enjoy the benefit of what corpus you have built. You can start. Take for example, somebody has 55 years but still working, but still want that enough corpus is there. Your all goals have been planned. Now it's only retirement part you want to enjoy, so that you can start withdrawing. My only suggestion here is that on an average, your withdrawal should not be more than 5-6% of your overall corpus. Let's say if the corpus is once a year, that's why I've taken an example of 50,000. Okay. Then you can look at 55 to 60,000 on a monthly basis withdrawal. So that it should be around 6.5 to 7% of your overall corpus.
Right.
Because if you will do that, and if you still expect that your corpus will keep on growing at 10-11% after 60, then still you'll be able to generate a lot of corpus, and your corpus will keep on growing irrespective of your monthly withdrawals. So you have to allow your corpus to grow, because you don't know how many much more years you have. The way medical facilities are available, if you're going to live for 90, 100 years, you have to buffer for that, and you have to buffer for inflation also, because every withdrawal is not going to be consistent. Every year you have to step up your withdrawal part also.
Okay, that makes sense, Mr. Mahajan. Thank you so much for joining us and helping us understand the difference between SWPs and IDCW, and of course drawing the lines. And for viewers, to sum it up, for anyone nearing retirement, SWPs usually win for flexibility, tax efficiency and control. And youngsters can consider them sparingly for specific goals, but growth should still be a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. And this is Malika Mishra. This is Your Money Matters. Keep watching NDTV Profit.